Thank you for making the time to talk to me today. And it's my pleasure to have you. I'd love to ask you some questions. So I just wanted you to walk me through how to find property first. Where do I look?
Okay. So to be clear, you want to become a syndicator one day.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. And so what should you do, right? Being a syndicator is actually a lot of work. So let me talk about the career trajectory of this industry. GP is like the ultimate, like when you become a general partner of a firm, it's your partner, right? This is like the ultimate goal. And usually people don't just become GPs. They take a series of steps to become a GP. To be honest, the first step to becoming a GP is you have to be an LP first. Because without investing with someone, it's kind of hard to take someone else's money and become a GP. So a typical step is as follows. You have a high income job and that makes, 6 figures or so. Even if you make less than that, you can still start as a LP, but it just takes a little bit longer. Usually, most GPs are pretty successful in their own field already. They start buying single families, just like you. They have their primary residence. They have a family, usually have kids, have a dog, and they buy 2 rental properties, or they buy 1 rental property. It's quite expensive. They usually live in the coastal cities. It's like $700,000 and whatnot, or even 1.2 million. And so they manage that themselves. So they start thinking, how can I buy large apartments or multifamilies? They need more capital. At that point, they literally arrive on syndication. So many people arrive on syndication just like, it's not like there's only one creator of geometry. Multiple people come to the same conclusion. We need this concept called geometry. So it's not that hard. It's literally what's the mechanism, legal, financial, and aligning incentives of a product that allows multiple people to come together to buy something larger than one can buy. Okay, so then they get into the industry. They will become an LP because they need to learn how this thing works. I will say for the people that that are landlords to begin with, they truly appreciate syndication way more. Then they're like, oh, what else can I contribute here? Is they can become a co-sponsor. A co-sponsor is not a lead sponsor. The co-sponsor are like directors. They make some decisions, but they don't make all the decisions. And they usually can bring a little bit of capital so that if you're raising, say, $20 million, the lead sponsor can raise maybe about 8, but then there's still $12 million left to raise. So there will be a few co-sponsors that can raise, $3 or $4 million each, and then together they can take down this deal. The characteristics of a co-sponsor are they usually high net worth. That's how they have the circle of high net worth friends. They're usually very competent. They usually still have a job. So they want to be part-time. They don't want to be like go out and hunt for deals. They want to use their network, which is their competitive advantage, to just, get people to invest. Now, some audience here might be like, oh man, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. Like literally you're just asking other people to like invest. And so, but like it's one of the most legit, ways of expanding network. And these people are actually like, if you put them in any other field, they are intrinsically successful in what they are already doing. It's really hard to be not successful in what they're doing and then become successful in syndication. It's usually that the best syndicators are successful in their own right. They're usually doctors, lawyers, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's the second role, co-sponsor. The third role is asset manager, which is helping the property manage the property management company. Because when lead sponsor has a large amount of properties, they need someone to help manage, right? So now we're getting to kind of the growing of the company. So that's an asset manager. The fourth one is investor relations. When you try to raise 100K or 50K or 25K and you're trying to get to $20 million, that is 200 investors or more, sometimes more, right? And so raising money from investors is like herding cats. You have to work with their schedule. You send them the wire instructions. You make sure they need to wire the money. You follow up with them. Hey, have you wired the money yet? And then there's need to be a way to keep track of who has wired the money, who has not. Some of them will have all kinds of questions. You need to go on a one-on-one call with them. So it's herding cats. And you have 200 cats that you have to, make sure that none of them run away, and make sure that, and then you're talking to the lender, the banker, and to get the deal closed. So at some point, you're going to hire this specialized person that's called investor relations. And if someone wants to get into syndication, they can volunteer and say, hey, I want to be an investor relations, because that gives you the best opportunity to talk to these LP limited partners, right? So I mentioned those 4 roles. There's other roles like being kind of the boots on the ground, which is the person that lives in the area and they can go to the property once in a while. But the last role, by the way, once you do all of that, you can try to become a GP. And GP is very, very rewarding. It's also extremely stressful. So there's that. That was a long answer to your question.